for all. Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting held January 11th, 2021?
So moved.
Second.
Will the clerk please call that vote?
Councilman Stolberg,
Aye.
Councilwoman Stone,
Aye.
Councilman Kaufman,
Aye.
Councilman Bloomberg,
Aye.
Councilman Noble,
Aye.
Councilman Holloman,
Aye.
Mayor Rotering.
Aye, 7 ayes, no nays, and the minutes are approved. May I have a motion to approve the warrant list?
So move.
Second.
Any comments or questions on the warrant list? Hearing none, will the clerk please call that vote?
Councilman Stolberg,
Aye.
Councilwoman Stone,
Aye.
Councilman Kaufman,
Aye.
Councilman Bloomberg,
Aye.
Councilman Noble,
Aye.
Councilman Holloman,
Aye.
Mayor Rotering.
Aye, 7 ayes, no nays, and the warrant list is approved. We'll continue on to the report of the mayor. It's my pleasure this evening to share the state of the city, and I want to thank you for that opportunity to present the 2021 State of the City of Highland Park. I'm delivering this update in a time where we've just witnessed the historic inauguration of our 46th president and the peaceful transfer of power. We've recognized and honored the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, continue to reflect upon the recent events in the nation's capital, and experience the ongoing devastation of the COVID-19 pandemic in the nation and around the world. Things have not been easy, and the sacrifices made by each and every one of us have been enormous. Most importantly, tonight, I want to send you a message of deep gratitude to each of you for your patience, for your resiliency, for your support, and for your care for each other. You are the heart of Highland Park. I'd like to recognize my city council members, Tony Bloomberg, Michelle Holloman, Dan Kaufman, Alyssa Noble, Adam Stolberg, and Kim Stone. We are a team, and as elected officials, there's no absolute right or wrong, just at times very hard choices and difficult decisions. The burden of responsibility is always heavy, and even more so during a pandemic. Thank you to our dedicated staff. City Manager Gita Newkirk and the senior staff, we are grateful for your leadership. And while we have been staying safe in our homes, our dedicated employees have been keeping our city operating. Our first responders put their health and their families' health at risk to keep us safe, and we thank them for their continued bravery and compassion. There is no denying that the pandemic created a perfect storm. It has affected each and every one of us. It has upended our daily routines, social interactions, work habits, even our sense of time and place. And many of us have experienced severe personal economic challenges and grief due to the loss of loved ones. We lost the ability to visit our favorite restaurants and businesses, and in turn, they've taken a beating, forcing many to close or adapt to a new way of doing business. And while it's easy to get discouraged, I'm going to ask that instead we be inspired as we reflect on the heroism of our essential workers, the spirit of togetherness that we're experiencing in the face of adversity, and our strength as we continue to persevere. So while the pandemic may have started as a public health care crisis, it's also become a governance and financial crisis. Strong, accessible, and responsible local governance has been paramount. And while no one expected the major events that we experienced in 2020, we were able to rely on our carefully crafted core priorities to guide us. As a city, with your input, we've been strategic in developing those priorities: public safety, fiscal stability, infrastructure investment, and community vibrancy. These have been our pillars for the past 10 years, and while every single one has been challenged by this pandemic, we've been nimble, resilient, and effective in meeting our challenges because of them. Every level of government continues to experience severe economic impacts related to the pandemic, and the city of Highland Park has not been immune. Costs of pandemic-related city operations rose quickly, and city revenues have been stretched beyond anything anyone could have anticipated, causing what was a potential shortfall of millions of dollars. To address challenges in the short term, many infrastructure and other projects were put on hold, events and programming were canceled, portions of our staff were furloughed, and our workforce was diminished by 10% through attrition and staff reduction. While careful prior planning provided strong reserves upon which we could draw this year, we continue to face fiscal challenges throughout the pandemic and possibly beyond. I'm proud to say that despite those external forces, we've recently approved our 10th balanced operating budget in a row, and our financial house remains in order. City operations continue almost seamlessly. We know that we cannot wait for the pandemic to end to start resetting, reimagining, and rebuilding. As we continue to work closely with the Lake County Health Department and the Illinois Department of Public Health to increase the vaccines rollout, we recognize that the length and intensity of the pandemic has taken a toll on our local economy. With this in mind, the city swiftly created numerous initiatives focused on supporting our restaurants and small businesses as they faced and continue to experience pandemic-related challenges. We reduced or eliminated fees, created grants for mitigating pandemic-related costs, rolled back restrictions and permitting requirements, and joined in marketing efforts to showcase our valued businesses. We are fluid in our approach and work regularly with our businesses to provide them support. On their behalf, all of us at the city continue to ask, when possible, that you patronize our local businesses. Our community has depended on them throughout the years, and they need us now more than ever. We continue to make strategic changes to our zoning, particularly in and around our downtown, resulting in transit-oriented, market-driven housing development that includes affordable units, is sensitive to the environment, and encourages longtime residents to easily downsize, allowing new neighbors to move here. As a result, over time, more people will be able to shop, dine, and visit our downtown, helping to ease resident property tax burdens through the generation of increased sales tax revenue. This new housing also enables our seniors to age in place, continuing a Highland Park tradition of multiple generations of families in our hometown. In the coming year, some priority projects include the continued planning to replace the obsolete Ravinia Fire Station, rebuilding a crumbling Clavey Road, which is a vital east-west artery in South Highland Park, revisiting our economic strategic plan, continuing to shine a spotlight on the need for regional flood mitigation efforts, short and long-term planning to vitalize the Crossroads Shopping District, and most of all, we look forward to coming together again as a community in person. Despite fiscal obstacles and unclear timelines, it's necessary that we continue to plan, continue to progress to the extent feasible. As American author Alan Lakean, best known for his quotes about time management and planning, once said, "Planning is bringing the future into the present so that you can do something about it now." We do not do our work alone. Collaboration and synergies benefit the public and improve efficiencies. We continue to work closely with our sister governments, not-for-profit and other community partners, and area clergy. Thank you to all of our partners who work with us throughout the year. These collaborative relationships result in a broad range of initiatives that benefit our community's day-to-day life, help us coordinate during times like these, and plan for the future. Our work together exemplifies representative government at its best. This year, we were tested, and I'm proud that although we each have separate functions, we came together to promote a culture of inclusivity and to support critical human and social services for our neighbors in need. Your input is the most vital. Your priorities are our priorities. In the coming months, we will virtually hold our annual neighborhood meetings in partnership with our sister governments. We will apply our listening and learning to the development of our annual budget, our most important policy statement. With fiscal prudence as our directive, we will plan for the future with an eye on our community's short and long-term needs and hopes, challenges, and opportunities. At the end of the day, every person, every family deserves to be safe and healthy in their home, on their street, in their neighborhood, at their place of work, and they deserve equal access to opportunity. None of us can predict what may come next, but we will continue to build and learn from the past as we work together to create a bright future. Again, to each of you, our community, I thank you. And that is the state of the city. Continuing on with the report of the mayor, we will be looking at recognizing our 2021 outgoing commissioners. And I'd now like to recognize the following individuals who completed their terms on city advisory group, board, or commissions. The volunteers serving in this capacity do a great service to our community. They provide valuable insight and expertise, share their time and talents, and serve as ambassadors for the city. So on behalf of the City Council and city staff, we extend our deepest appreciation to Stephen Green from the Cultural Arts Advisory Group, Doug Ross and Joe Adler, the Housing Commission, Sandra Bast and Nagawa Kakumba from Human Relations Advisory Group, Richard Coplin and Marty Kinzel from the Library Board of Trustees, Adam Glazer and Ben Kutscheid, Plan and Design Commission, Samuel Kardik and Jen Meyer, Sustainability Advisory Group, Charles Bergen and Lenny Xavier, Transportation, Ira Chaplick, Ken Henry, Zoning Board of Appeals. Thank you all for your volunteerism, for your commitment to our city. We greatly appreciate your time and your input. Continuing on, we're announcing the 2020 Historic Preservation Award winners. Despite the challenges that 2020 brought us, we're proud to present the winners of the 2020 Historic Preservation Awards. Since 1988, the city's Historic Preservation Commission has sponsored the awards program to recognize the time, effort, and ongoing commitment that Highland Park residents have for the preservation of the city's rich architectural history. This year, we had 6 nominations in the rehabilitation, restoration, and new construction categories. At this time, I'd like to introduce Councilwoman Kim Stone, liaison to the Historic Preservation Commission, to recognize the Historic Preservation Commission winners and the judges as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. On behalf of the city, we extend our appreciation to the Historic Preservation Commission for their work on this program. The commission is led by Chair Megan Salamasic and includes Jean Sogan, Vice Chair, Rhoda Pierce, Joe Reinstein, William Levy, Annie Marshall de Armas, and Seth Pines. There are also 3 student commissioners now. Kevin Beck has been our trustee commissioner this past year, and Shirley Zhang and Yaneli Betancourt have joined us recently. Special thanks go to the Community Development Director, Joel Fontaine, and Senior Planner Andy Cross, the HPC liaison, for their coordination of the awards program. And also a big thank you to our distinguished jurors who reviewed the nominations. Lisa DiChiara, Director of Advocacy at Landmarks Illinois, and John Waters, Preservation Programs Manager with the Frank Lloyd Wright Building Conservancy. There were 3 Historic Preservation Award winners for 2020. Each represents a strong commitment to preservation and serves as an example to Highland Park and the broader preservation community. And I think Gita's going to put up some slides so that you'll be able to actually see pictures of the winners. But that is, okay. So the first winner is 441 Cedar, the Battle Deck House, and they have won the Restoration Award. We're pleased to award Lydia Hankins and Ted Chung with an award for restoration, commending the owners on a decade-long commitment to making this home one of Highland Park's modernist architectural gems. Highlights of the project include complete restoration of the masonry facades, maintaining the home's original windows and replacing missing and deteriorated copings at all roof levels with stone to match the original design. The west porch was dismantled and rebuilt, and the roof deck handrail was recreated based on historic photographs and original drawings. The roof foundation and all deteriorated steel framing was also repaired. Congratulations. The next winner for the Restoration and Rehabilitation Award is 1689 Lake Avenue, the Millard House. The judges enthusiastically give Gail Rothner both the Restoration and Rehabilitation Awards. The restoration preserved important aesthetic features of the Frank Lloyd Wright designed home, and the rehabilitation has allowed the home to meet current standards of living. From replacing the electric and plumbing systems to adding a garage and digging out the basement to create a vibrant new living space, Rothner's 4-year odyssey has ensured that this prairie-style home will remain part of Highland Park's architectural legacy for decades to come. The last award is a Restoration Award to 2419 St. John's Avenue. We're pleased to give a Historic Preservation Award to Oran and Kristen Dehis, the owners of 2419 St. John's, for a very successful restoration project. This house, originally built in 1912, had been languishing after years of neglect. The family fell in love with it and spent 4 years restoring it. They used original blueprints, and the home was meticulously restored to its original arts and crafts beauty. The Dehis team paid special attention to details, restoring doors, original hardware, light fixtures, porticos, flooring, the stairway, and windows, among other things. I encourage those who are interested to take a look at the photos in the council meeting packet if you haven't been able to see the PowerPoint Gita's been projecting, and also to drive by or walk by these homes to get a sense of the work that these projects involved and to see the beautiful results. Congratulations to all the award winners, and thank you for preserving these historic homes.
Terrific. Thank you, Councilwoman Stone. Thank you to the Historic Preservation Commission, and thank you to our residents for making historic preservation a priority. Much appreciated. Looking forward to seeing these houses in person. Thank you. Continuing on with the report of the mayor, I just want to thank everybody for all of their hard work flattening the COVID-19 curve during the most difficult time of year to be apart from loved ones. Because of this, Region 9 is advancing to Tier 1, I believe, tomorrow. Is that correct, Gita?
Correct,
That was
yes.
quick. Tier 2 and then Tier 1. So let's keep up the great work. Don't forget, as I'm sure you can repeat this with me in your sleep, wear a mask, wash your hands, and keep your distance as we continue to make progress and save lives. Thank you. And that is it for the report of the mayor. We will continue on now with our agenda to business from the public. Have we received any emails, phone calls, voicemails from the public?
No emails, voicemails. No one is in the building, and then we'll just open it up. Is there anyone on the virtual meeting? If you could just use the virtual hand and raise your hand, we'll call on you then. No, not at this time, Mayor.
Okay, I don't see anybody raising their hand. Sounds great. Thank you. Okay, we'll continue on with our scheduled business. Items 1 through 19 have been grouped together for omnibus consideration. I'm seeking a motion for items 1 through 19.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions on items 1 through 19? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the vote?
Councilman Stolberg,
Aye.
Councilwoman Stone,
Aye.
Councilman Kaufman,
Aye.
Councilman Bloomberg,
Aye.
Councilman Noble,
Aye. Sorry.
Councilman Holloman,
Aye.
Mayor Rotering.
Aye, 7 ayes, no nays, and items 1 through 19 have been approved. Item 20 is an ordinance designating 215 Central Avenue as a local landmark. This was extensively detailed in the packet, so I am seeking a motion to approve item 20.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
Any comments or questions on item 20? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the vote?
Councilman Stolberg,
Aye.
Councilwoman Stone,
Aye.
Councilman Kaufman,
Aye.
Councilman Bloomberg,
Aye.
Councilman Noble,
Aye.
Councilman Holloman,
Aye.
Mayor Rotering.
Aye, 7 ayes, no nays. We will continue on to item 21, a resolution approving a final plat of subdivision for 1849 Green Bay Road and 1910 Second Street. I am seeking that motion. Councilwoman Stone.
I just have a quick question. I think that the homeowners from 215 Central are on, and I wasn't sure if they wanted to say anything or not as part of the item we just voted on.
Prior item.
The prior item.
Prior item.
Ah, there we go. Okay.
We may have gone too quickly.
Mr. Katz.
Hang on one minute. What?
Hello?
Hello, did you call Howard?
Yes.
Okay, hi. I'm gonna call you.
I didn't know if you had anything you wanted to share. Thank you for landmarking your home.
I'm so unfamiliar with Zoom, sorry.
No worries.
I don't know if you can see me because I don't have the usual box up there.
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry for you. You don't get to see me.
Okay, well, another time you'll have to swing by and say hello. But in the meantime, any comments about the landmarking of your beautiful home?
Oh my God, that's so nice. No.
Okay, well, congratulations, and we appreciate it greatly. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so item 21, seeking a motion.
So moved.
And Mayor, 21, 22, and 23 are
Can be taken in omnibus?
they're on the same project. If you're interested in taking them together, if not, we're happy to describe them all to you.
I think they were extensively detailed in the packet. We have discussed them for probably well over a year. Councilwoman Stone.
I just have three quick questions.
Okay,
Can we make the motion and then do the questions?
sure.
I would motion to approve items 21, 22, and 20.
I'll second that.
Okay, go ahead, Councilwoman.
Okay. We had spoken before about the landscape planners on the Green Bay Road side of the building, and I see that they are still there. And there was concern among the council that they would further narrow the sidewalk and make it difficult to navigate around that protruding stairwell from the garage that's over in that section. I've spoken with Geeta about this. She says that they are open to removing or changing the design of that planter to make it easier to navigate that section of the sidewalk. But in the packet, we are approving a landscape plan that includes that. So I just wanted to make sure that that can be changed later if we so desire.
Director Fontaine or the applicant are
Yes,
welcome
please.
to respond.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay. This is Joel Fontaine, Director of Community Development. Mayor, yes, per Councilmember Stone's question, we did look at the area around the pedestrian access to the garage beneath that structure there, and there is sufficient room between the end of now what will be the new Lot 3 or the property line for the development and that structure to allow access along the eastern side. There is also enough room on the western side of that structure as well. And we believe enough room between the planter and the structure. So when we go out in the field, when we do have our final engineering permits for the building, and when this is being constructed, staff will be very careful to make sure that the measurements do in fact hold true and that the sufficient area is there for accessible access to that sidewalk area there.
Thanks. Then the two other questions I have are for the applicant, I believe. One is regarding the bicycle parking. I see that those spaces are on the ground level, and I just wanted to find out whether they are accessible to the public or whether they're just for residents. And then my other question, I'll just ask both questions so you can answer them both together. Is there any wiring for electric vehicle charging in the garage, or will there be some common EV chargers for people who might have electric vehicles?
Andrew, I'll let you answer those questions.
Thank you, Andrew Yule, developer for the project. Of 1850 Green Bay Road. I think that counts. Thank you for the question. So the bicycle parking at ground level is accessible through a walkway, a designated walkway to get to it. It's at grade in the parking facility, and there'll be about 40 bike parking stalls located there. And below grade, we will be building 2 dual car charging stations, which will be able to power 4 cars. So we have plans for 4 total EV car stations.
Great, thank you. I know that neither of those things is required of you, and so I really appreciate that you're putting both of those elements into the building.
You're very welcome.
Terrific. Councilman Kaufman and then Councilman Bloomberg.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a brief comment. One of the benefits of this development, among others, is the addition of a number of affordable units of housing, which I think is terrific. So it's a great addition to the community as far as that goes. I do hope, though, in the future that there would be a more rigorous application of the inclusionary zoning ordinance, both in terms of the language and the spirit of the ordinance, go through kind of a more thorough process. But I'm nevertheless happy that we've got a number of affordable units, and that I hope this development does everything we hope it will, and look forward to it as well.
Terrific. Thank you. Councilman Bloomberg.
Thank you. I just wanted to clarify something, and maybe Joel, you would answer this. You indicated that there was accessibility on both sides of the access to the garage. What is meant by accessible? 1, 2, or more people abreast on each side?
Council members, Bloomberg, it's 4 feet on the east, and it's greater than 5 feet on the west of that structure. So, provided everything is constructed according to plan, we should be okay. We will also verify that between the structure and the planter, that there is sufficient, that the 4 feet is maintained, preferably 5.
Yeah, 4 to 5 feet seems about wide enough for one person to pass.
Yeah, that's the minimum requirement.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Any further comments or questions on items 21, 22, 23? Councilman Holloman.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to address Councilman Coffin. I was surprised to hear that you had concerns about the rigorous process, because I feel that we did go through a very rigorous process in determining the mix of affordable units versus a contribution to the Housing Trust Fund. And this went through several iterations at the Housing Commission. We did go through all of the city's required processes and had a vigorous discussion regarding those issues. It may not have been the outcome that you personally were looking for, but I just wanted to make it clear that there were no shortcuts or cutting corners in the process itself. We went through the process and came to a conclusion, which I think was a very positive one, and which was agreed to by the Housing Commission as well. So just wanted to add some perspective to that. Thank you.
Terrific. Thank you. Any further comments? Hearing none, we have a motion and a second. Will the clerk please call the vote?
Councilman Stolberg,
Aye.
Councilwoman Stone,
Aye.
Councilman Kaufman,
Aye.
Councilman Bloomberg,
Aye.
Councilman Noble,
Aye.
Councilman Hallman,
Aye.
Mayor Rotering.
Aye, 7 ayes, no nays, and items 21, 22, and 23 are approved. Congratulations
Mayor.
and thank you.
Mayor,
Yes,
can I just make a
Corporation
point?
Counsel.
Yeah, I want to make one point about the Albion project. I see one of the developers already signed up, but Cal's still on. I just want to note, one councilman asked why this matter keeps appearing on our agendas, and that is because this is a very complicated development project. And yes, Councilman Holloman is correct. We have gone through a very rigorous process all the way through. And there are a lot of different levels of relief and process that is required in connection with this complicated land use, complicated project. Please note that there will be more items on your future agendas. There are still exceptions from the old Renaissance Place development that will require amendments. So I just want you to know it's still going, and we're working very closely with the development team and their attorneys, as well as with the city staff, to make sure that the project is properly approved.
And they're still on there. I moved them back as attendees.
Oh, okay.
Panelists. Yeah.
Thank you. Councilman Stolberg.
Thank you, Mayor. And just to add to Corporation Counsel for the viewing public, when Mr. Elrod says that it's ongoing and the process, I want to clarify as liaison that the process is not just coming before us as a council. Everything that is required to be in a public hearing or things through the Plan and Design Commission is doing so as well. So the general public has multiple opportunities to hear and see the process, any changes, any additions or variations, and then those recommendations from the PDC ultimately come back to us. So I didn't want anyone to think that even though it's been on our agenda several times, it has also been on the agenda of the PDC in various levels as well, to make sure that the viewing public knows that there's more than just a council opportunity for them to see, hear, and opine on this project. Thank you.
Much appreciated. Thank you. Okay, continuing on with our agenda. Is there any business from the council? Okay, business from city staff?
Thank you, Mayor. We do have a couple of reports. First, Steve, do you want to talk about the emergency declaration?
Yes, just general COVID-related matters, Mayor. One, just to remind everybody that we have been, since the meeting started, meeting on a virtual basis. And I want to confirm that the meeting is being conducted in accordance with the Illinois Open Meetings Act, and provisions have been made to be in compliance with remote meeting requirements, including the fact that the City Hall is open for limited attendance in accordance with social distancing. The city manager is present at City Hall. And we have allowed for remote participation in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. Second thing I want to note is that the mayor's emergency declaration is scheduled to expire at the adjournment of the meeting. So it would be in order for a member of the city council to extend the declaration to the adjournment of the next regular city council meeting, which is on February 8th.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so we are seeking that motion.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, will the clerk please call that vote?
Councilman Stolberg.
Aye.
Councilwoman Stone.
Aye.
Councilman Kaufman.
Aye.
Councilman Bloomberg.
Aye.
Councilman Noble.
Aye.
Councilman Holloman.
Aye.
Mayor Rotering.
Aye, 7 ayes and no nays. City Manager Newkirk, you have a few things to share?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few additional items, just to follow up on comments that you had made pertaining to the tier structure that we're in pursuant to the Restore Illinois plan. The state did announce today that our region, which is Region 9 for Lake and McHenry County, was advanced to Tier 2 mitigation. I'm sorry, it's to Tier 1 mitigation effective tomorrow from Tier 2. And so just a couple of highlights of basically what that means. Indoor dining will be permissible to the lesser of 25 guests or a capacity per room, maximum 4 people per party. And the state is recommending that individuals dine with only members of their household. Similarly, bars and restaurant patrons should be seated at tables versus any type of bar setting. And then meeting social events are also permissible based on that same structure, 25 guests or 25% of overall room capacity, indoor or outdoor. This does not apply to schools or sports. There's separate guidance for schools, and sporting guidelines are also listed on our website. We've received a number of questions about face coverings or face masks, and they must be worn at all times indoor or for outdoor organized activities. We are constantly updating our website with information, so we encourage people to go to our website at cityhpil.com. And every Tuesday and Friday, we issue an e-news. Tuesday is going to be dedicated to COVID information, and specifically the vaccine, which I'll get to in one moment. But these tier structures, we are monitoring them daily, and the state is making their decisions based on positivity rates, based on patients in the hospital, ICU bed availability. And so even though we are anticipated to move to Tier 1 tomorrow, we can just as easily move backwards. And so very, very important that people continue to wear a mask, watch your distance, wash your hands. We continue to encourage individuals to support local business. As you indicated, Mayor, it's been a very challenging time, and we want to do everything we can to support our local business. So curbside, takeout, retailers, restaurants are all providing that. So please continue to support them. The list of all businesses is on our website. And then we are continuing to encourage people to be cognizant of symptoms for COVID. And we have a list of testing locations on our website. So if someone does have symptoms or they've been interacting with someone who they found out has tested positive, they are urged to go get a test themselves. Last week, we worked with the Illinois Department of Public Health as well as the Park District to offer 2 mobile testing sites right here in our community. And we will continue to offer that again. We've asked the state to give us additional dates, but in the meantime, our website lists other locations where testing is available. As it pertains to the vaccine, we continue to encourage people to review the frequently asked questions, which are on our website that were prepared by CDC and the Illinois Department of Public Health, so they can be very informed about the benefits of the vaccine and why they should get the vaccine. And then they can register through the Lake County portal, which will provide them information then when they can actually go get that vaccine when it's available for them. So again, all that information is on our website, and people are welcome to contact us if they have any questions. And then I just want to shift to winter weather conditions. We did issue communication this evening based on National Weather Service that we have a winter storm warning, which is in effect, started this afternoon, and it continues to 5 p.m. tomorrow. We are anticipating snow accumulation of 5 to 8 inches. And we just want to remind the public to please be mindful of people that use the sidewalk. There are a lot of people walking. And so if they could clear the sidewalk, that would be most appreciated. The city, pursuant to our policy, all sidewalks are cleared after 4 inches of accumulated snow. And so that's when we will clear all the sidewalks in the community, the public sidewalks. And but that's done after the streets are conducted. Our snow and ice control plan is on our website as well. And this is ComEd calling right now saying that their emergency operations center is open because of the winter storm in effect. So if you can hear my phone ringing, that's what that's all about. And then just a friendly reminder that our winter parking regulations are in effect until the end of March. And so vehicles can't be parked longer than 15 minutes on any public street from between the hours of 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. So that's at all times now until March 31st. So that concludes our staff report, and we're happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions? No, thank you. And thanks in advance to our staff. We know they probably have a bit of a long night ahead of them. Much appreciate their hard work on behalf of our community. I'm seeking a motion now to adjourn this city council meeting.
So moved. Second.
Will the clerk please call the vote?
Councilman Stolberg,
Aye.
Councilwoman Stone,
Aye.
Councilman Kaufman,
Aye.
Councilman Bloomberg,
Aye.
Councilman Noble,
Aye.
Councilman Holloman,
Aye.
Mayor Rotering.
Aye, 7 ayes, no nays. We stand adjourned. I will now call to order the Committee of the Whole of the City Council of Highland Park, Illinois, January 25th, 2021. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilman Stolberg,
Here.
Councilwoman Stone,
Here.
Councilman Kaufman,
Here.
Councilman Bloomberg,
Here.
Councilman Noble,
Here.
Councilman Holloman,
Here.
Mayor Rotering.
Here, we have a quorum. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the Committee of the Whole meeting, January 11th, 2021?
So moved.
Second.
Will the clerk please call the vote to approve the minutes?
Councilman Stolberg, Councilwoman Stone,
Aye.
Councilman Kaufman,
Aye.
Councilman Bloomberg,
Aye.
Councilman Noble,
Aye.
Councilman Holloman,
Aye.
Mayor Rotering.
Aye, 7 ayes, no nays. Our minutes are approved. Scheduled business. Tonight, we're talking about the Ravinia Fire Station redevelopment plan and getting an update. City Manager Newkirk, and welcome Chief Amadei. Always good to see you.
Hi, how you doing, everybody?
Great, thank you, Mayor. We're very excited to present the City Council and the public with an update on the fire station redevelopment plan. Certainly, as the Council is well aware, we've been working on this project for several years. We have 3 fire stations. The Ravinia Station was constructed in 1929, and it's basically a renovated single-family home that we are providing public safety and emergency response operations from. It has served us well for many, many years, but it is not currently up to par with what emergency response operations really should have. And just a little bit of background, and then I'm going to turn it over to the chief to introduce our team, who this evening will provide the site plan for the proposed redevelopment, some elevations that we're going to share. We're going to talk about the project budget, and then go through the timeline. But briefly, we started really focusing on this redevelopment plan 6 years ago when we assessed a number of different locations where the fire station would be best suited to be redeveloped. First question that we asked ourselves is, do we need 3 stations? And so that answer was yes, we do need 3 stations. And it was determined based on a review of call volume and response times, the best location for operation is actually in the Ravinia district. And so 4 years ago, we held 7 community neighborhood meetings, invited the neighborhood as well as everyone in the community to attend information just to get their feedback. That feedback was very helpful, and it helped us kind of move forward to where we are today. So we do have funds in our capital plan for redevelopment of this project. We had hoped to move forward a little bit earlier, but then this pandemic hit us, so we actually had to have a 1-year delay on this redevelopment. But it certainly still is a priority, and so it is reflected in our capital plan for us to go through this planning process in 2020, in 2021, with construction take place, the majority of construction in the next fiscal year in 22. We have, and Mark will talk through it, a temporary location where we will operate while construction is underway. We have not finalized where that location will be at this time. We have preliminary approval from the Park District to set up a temporary site at Brown Park across the street, but we're going to do a comprehensive analysis just to determine where exactly is that best location for us as well as for the public. So further information will come from that. And then I can't stress enough how important the public input and the public process is. We've invited our neighbors to attend this update. And so I see names of several neighbors that are with us this evening. And we are maintaining an email contact list. So if someone wants to be kept apprised specifically as we go through this planning process, if you don't yet have your email, please reach out to us and we'll make sure to communicate with you throughout the way, and then we'll continue also to communicate with the general public as well. So with that, I will introduce and recognize Chief Amodei, who will provide introductions.
All right. Got to put the glasses on here. Thank you for having me tonight, Mayor and Council. So we have Mark Bushhouse and Jack Hayes with us. And I think Gita will bring them up there, but Mark Bushhouse is a licensed architect, president of Williams Architects. He's also the head of their municipal design studio. He's in charge of this project for Williams, and he and Scott Lang, the vice president of Williams, are the same team that designed our station, our headquarters station on Central Avenue 23 years ago. And that station's done very well for us, and I know you've all been there. And he and Scott have designed 40 fire stations across the Midwest the last 30 years. And then Jack Hayes, who's also with us from FQC firm, stands for Frederick Corporation. He's a construction management firm. They're headquartered in Addison, Illinois, been in business since 1966. Specialize in large complex projects for public sector, and their experience includes fire stations, police stations, municipal facilities, government buildings, schools, park districts, libraries, and churches. Currently, they're working on public sector jobs in Kenilworth, Glencoe, Wilmette, Glenview, Cary, Elk Grove, Niles, and Lombard. So if we can bring Mark on, and he'll go over the site project and a little PowerPoint for us. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Now, did you want me to pull the PowerPoint up, Gita, or do you have it?
I can do it, but you can drive. I made
Yeah,
you should be able to share your screen.
All right, very good.
I have it though, if you want me to do it.
All right, I have it available. I'm just not sure why you, hold on a second here. There we go, sorry. All right. Well, thank you. Mark Bushhouse, as Gita said, from Williams Architects. I've been excited to work again on your next fire station. Very important facility here. The basics are, this site is the site, as she indicated, where it was before. It will continue here. The site, however, is very small. It's a little less than a quarter acre right there on Burton and Highland Place, right off the alley. And to the north is Roger Williams. And we're looking to put about a 12,600 square foot building on 3 levels, really working hard to fit it in there. And really things that are very important and goals for this project are really to continue being a great neighbor, the traditions of the neighborhood, and carry on the great service that this facility has been providing over the years. So that's all about maintaining and enhancing interaction with the public, providing a safe facility for the emergency response personnel, finally having an apparatus bay and garage that's large enough to hold current modern firefighting equipment and ambulances, safe and healthy living quarters where the air is clean, providing a way for firefighters to get cleaned off after their calls. It's a big deal these days that they have discovered that the smokes in modern buildings give off a lot of carcinogenous material particles, and to have the building designed to allow these personnel to come back and clean up and clean their equipment in the right order, in the right way to keep those carcinogens off of them and out of the other parts of the building are very important in modern facilities. So those have all been incorporated into the building. This building also will be designed to be very green. Now we understand the city is not seeking a LEED plaque, as it were. However, this building will be designed energy and conservation wise. It certainly could achieve a LEED plaque if desired. However, the city is choosing to spend that money on actually maximizing how green they can go. And then talking about green, one of the things that has been discussed by the project team is the plausibility of making this facility actually net zero. Net zero is a building that you provide solar panels typically in a building like this that produce as much energy in a year as the building uses. Certainly your meter may run forward or backwards depending on where the energy is coming from and what you're using in a particular day. But over a year, net zero means you have actually produced all the energy you need for the building for that year. That would require higher levels of insulation, level up on mechanical, electrical systems, and of course, a good size array of photovoltaic panels to bring in the energy. We did some back of napkin kind of review of cost to do that. And our rough estimate for all the factors that would go into that, including enhancements to the building, more energy efficient systems, buying a good sized array of solar panels, all the engineering and other paperwork aspects that go with it could cost somewhere in the range of $800,000. But again, it would still be a very excellent green building, water saving features everywhere. So all good things to think about. And let's talk about the site itself for a moment. Again, Burton Avenue on the east side, Highland on the south. The building has 2 apparatus bays that will pour vehicles out onto Burton as they always have. Access off the alley will give access for parking and access to the front door of the building. Behind the building on the west are 2 homes with their garages backing up against this facility. And at the northwest corner, adjacent to the property, is a small municipal parking lot. On the south side of the site, there's a row of nice mature trees in the parkway that can be maintained. Getting into the floor plans itself, we're looking at a 3-level building. The basement basically housing exercise, storage, mechanical rooms. The main level having the 2 apparatus bays facing to the east, as they always have, out onto Burton. There will be a nice front entry. There are equipment rooms and decontamination rooms. And in fact, fire stations are now required to have a level 5 tornado shelter incorporated within them to protect the staff and anybody else the city would want to in case of emergency. Thankfully, that room can also be double used as a decontamination room to, as I talked about, allowing the firefighters to get cleaned after a call. Zoning on the building is also very important. Meeting with your planning staff, they're looking and recommending we move from an R6 to a PA zoning. As far as how we fit on the site, again, this is a significantly larger building than your existing to meet the space needs of this department. So we are going to need some relief on 3 sides of the building. We're going to get noticeably closer to Highland Ave there, only because, well, it would be 2 front yards because it's a corner lot and we just need the space for the apparatus. Height-wise, this area would normally be about 30 feet as a limit. However, the adjacent commercial areas to the north have a 35-foot limit. We think this building, to maintain its Tudor look that the building currently has and fit well in the community, might need a height of around 33. So maybe a small amount of acceptance there might be needed. Moving on to the top level of the building, this is basically the living quarters. They're now well separated off from the apparatus below. We can keep the air clean up here, stairs to get them down quickly to the equipment, individual bunk rooms for a very good unisex kind of or gender neutral living quarters, a central kitchen, day room, eating area for staff to work and live together, plus laundry and of course lockers for all of their equipment and clothing. Basics on that. The building exterior wise, as I discussed, the current building on site is a Tudor facility, and through all the comments from the public, it was recognized that the neighborhood would really appreciate the building staying in that style. So here's an elevation on the east side toward Burton. You see the two apparatus doors on the left. On the right, there's the main entrance to the facility. On the north toward the, this is south toward Highland Place. Again, you see a nice series of windows along the base in the darker brick, looking into the apparatus room. And up above, you see the Tudor style shapes of roofs and beaming for the living quarters. On the west, toward the back of the houses, we have, again, living quarters upstairs, equipment areas below. This is also the side where staff can park as they have before. On the north, toward the alley, again, you can see the apparatus base sticking out on the left. Center is a little plaza where the public can meet, or emergency response personnel can spend time out there, as they often do on warm evenings during Ravinias, to interact and meet and talk with the public and get to know the neighbors as they have all the years before. So let's see here. The costing wise, again, this is far more broken down than you need to understand, but the budget's been set at $7,465,000. We're still holding to that. That includes all of the construction, tearing down the existing building, hiring consultants, furniture and equipment, site and building construction costs, the construction manager, really a full turnkey to get it built. There are a couple alternates that are being thought about. One might be to provide the full basement, even though it's unfinished, just to, in case future space needs might be helpful. And then also, one thing that would be helpful to the department is to look at putting radiant heat in the slab of the apparatus bay itself, and then out onto the driveway that they exit out of onto Burton to keep that snow and ice free at all times. Again, will the budget allow that? We're not certain yet, so we're at this point calling it an alternate. Schedule, as a manager pointed out, we're again looking to start construction next year. So this year we would take the design from where it is, complete the more developed design, go through the zoning and plan review process, get approvals there, get construction documents done this summer, bid it out this fall, have all the contracts done and contractors lined up before the end of the year, then allow the fire department to complete and prepare temporary facilities during the first couple of months of next year, move out, then allows the demolition of the existing building and construction to begin at the beginning of spring of 22, allowing the building to get done substantially by, right now predicted to be March 15th of 2023. With
Peter,
that,
could I jump in for one
please
second?
go ahead.
Thanks, Mark. Just want to confirm that this does go through our public review process through the Plan and Design Commission, so that people recognize that they'll have an opportunity to provide feedback during those conversations.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, and through that email list where we are maintaining emails of individuals interested in this project, we'll send them a direct email whenever a meeting is scheduled.
Great, thank you. And then the estimated 800,000 for net zero, is that included in that 7 million number, or is that in addition?
That would be in addition at this time.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions while I've interrupted everybody? Councilman Bloomberg.
Please.
With respect to that $800,000, which I also had on my mind, as we move forward, it would be helpful to get some information on what kinds of cost offsets we might expect from those green initiatives in the future. I heard a passing mention about water savings, obviously very important, what it would cost us, what we might save in terms of electricity and other things. One of the things that I was privileged to do well before the pandemic was to take a tour of some of the neighboring fire stations with Chief Amade and Manager Newkirk and several other members of the fire department. Fire departments, in addition to having to meet all these complicated things that we're hearing about, also suffer, I guess, from what I would call very hard usage. It's the difference between how some of us drive our cars and others drive our cars. Some of us can be very hard on how we drive the car. Firemen are coming in and out. There's a lot of movement physically. It's a living space, and yet moments of tremendous activity between downtime. So it takes a lot of hard use. And I'm sure that contributes to some of the cost to make sure that we find materials that can withstand that. The last thing I wanted to put on the plate, if we can, I love the architectural design. I'm glad the neighborhood was heard in trying to keep the feel and the sense of the existing firehouse. I don't know if it would be terribly expensive or possible to reuse some of the external materials on any of the external surfaces of the new firehouse. But I hope that's something that we can consider, because we have certain emotional affinities for those things in our community.
Thank you. Councilman Stone?
Thanks. I agree with Councilman Bloomberg. I think that the design looks great and really fits well with the neighborhood. My only concern is on the west facade, which faces the homes in the back. And that looks like just a brick wall and something that may not be the most friendly to those neighbors. So I wonder if there's something that can be done just to soften that facade, make it a little bit more palatable to those people who live in those homes. In terms of the net zero consideration, I'd like to maybe talk about that a little bit further separately from this meeting, because I think that there may be some things in terms of grants and also some other cost savings that we can achieve by doing that. And it should not cost that much more from the information that I have. At least there should be ways to incorporate some of these things without so much additional cost.
Terrific. Thank you. Any other comments? Thank you for raising that about the west elevation, and frankly, a little bit on the south elevation as well. I don't know if false windows might help break up some of those expanses of brick, and I look forward to hearing back from the Plan and Design Commission in terms of those questions. Thanks. Great. Is there more, Gita?
Nope, that's it, Mayor.
Okay. Super. Well, if there are no further questions or comments, thank you both or all three of you for joining us. And I know some of your compatriots are on as attendees. Thank them as well. And I think that is it for this Committee of the Whole. We have no closed session. So I am seeking a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Will the clerk please call the vote?
Councilman Stolberg. Councilwoman Stone.
Aye.
Councilman Kaufman.
Aye.
Councilman Bloomberg.
Aye.
Councilman Noble.
Aye.
Councilman Holloman.
Aye.
Mayor Rotering.
Aye. I don't see Councilman Stolberg, so we'll say 6-0. We are adjourned. Stay safe, stay warm, and if you go outside, wear reflective clothing. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.
Aye.
Cover yourself.
I don't.
Be well.
Bye.